Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for June 2016. My name is Jason Augustus Newcomb, and the reading that I'm going to be giving you is based on something called Geomancy. It is a very ancient system of divination. It's often also called Terrestrial Astrology. It's one of the oldest divination systems in the world, and a lot of people think it's one of the more accurate divination systems since you're seeking wisdom directly from the anima mundi, or soul of the world. So to begin the reading, we need to establish 4 mother symbols. And for you this month, those 4 symbols are Puer, Via a second time, and Fortuna Major. Puer is an energetic symbol. It represents that there's some sort of force in your life, some impetuous energy, some sort of urge to run off and join the circus, maybe, or like to just get fire off half cocked, that kind of thing. That sort of just like jump in with both feet, which is kind of unusual for a Virgo, but that's the energy that's coming up there. And then the next 2 ones are Via, which both Via represents sort of movement, travel, motion, movement forward. And then Fortuna Major represents a very positive, extremely excellent outcome that relates to good luck, good fortune, good riches, wealth, happiness, all that sort of stuff, all rolled into one. Now, those 4 mothers generate 4 daughters, 4 nieces, 2 witnesses, and a judge, and that's the complete figure for Geomancy. Now, the judge that comes out is the symbol Conjunctio. Conjunctio is a relatively neutral symbol. It just represents things joining together, connecting. It's a symbol that requires other symbols to really fully understand everything that's going on with it. But that's the conclusion of the matter. And let's switch over to the horoscope view, and I'll give you a sense of why I think that's a little bit important for you this month. Now, as I said, Puer is the first sign, and so that appears in the first house, and the first house is the self. So you're going to be very kind of impetuous. Puer means boy, right? So when we see this symbol in the first house, it means a very sort of high energy in ourselves, very sort of wanting to begin things, wanting to jump in, get stuff started. Now in the house of money, we see Via. Now Via is not necessarily a great one to have in money or a bad one. It just sort of means things are flowing. Now if you are a person who overspends and doesn't keep track of their finances, it probably means that you're overspending. But if you're a person who invests in things and who creates value, it means that things may be flowing in a growing kind of way. So I mean, it's going to depend on who you are as a person. So you're going to have to look at yourself and say, am I a person who just throws all my money down the toilet? Well, then Via represents the fact that process is well underway this month. But if you're a person who's developing things and growing things in your life, it means that things are probably flowing quite well for you. Now, with that Puer in the beginning, there seems to be an indication that there's an impetuousness, so it would lean towards the first of those choices a little bit. So be cautious. Now, we see Fortuna Major in the 4th house. Now, the 4th house has to do with your material life. It may represent that there's either an inheritance or something from your lands or your real estate that is coming in. That's the value of it is increasing. Something is improving for you in some sort of larger sense in the larger scope of your life. It may not directly affect you this month because Fortuna Major is a long-term thing, but I would expect that there's going to be some positive material acquisitions happening in your life that bring you to a new level, materially speaking. As far as your career goes, we see Fortuna Minor up in the 10th house of career. And that represents that there's going to be something positive happening for you in your job, in your work, in the place you're going. It's not necessarily going to be a giant thing that's going to transform you forever, but there's definitely some new possibilities happening here. Along that similar note, over in the 9th house, right next door, we see the sign Albus. Now, albus is considered to be a very positive symbol. It represents whiteness. Albus means whiteness, and so it represents things going well for one, the profitable and happy. There's a sense of spiritual growth, a sense of harmony on a spiritual level in your being. And sitting in here in the ninth house, which is the house of of learning and science and personal development and philosophy, it would seem to indicate that you may be having a little bit of spiritual growth taking place this month, which is never a bad thing. As far as your health goes, now the sign here is a Cauda Draconis. And that means the tail of the dragon. Now the tail of the dragon means the ending of something. Now that can go two different ways, just like I was talking about with Via. Cauda Draconis can mean the end of something good in your life, the end of your good health. It could, but it could also mean the end of a health problem. It simply means things coming to an end. So if you've had a long-term illness that you're feeling like you're getting, that you're getting over, you're getting past, there's a strong indication that is true. So cautiously optimistic with the Cauda Draconis there. As far as your love life goes, there's actually we see the other half of the Draconis equation. We see Kappa Draconis, which is the head of the dragon, and so that symbol represents beginnings. So now, if you're already in a long-term relationship, well, don't get naughty now. No, it may indicate another relationship coming along, but hopefully not. Hopefully you're in a happy relationship and everything is going to flow well. It may just mean that a new sort of level of happiness begins to blossom within that relationship. If you're not in a relationship, it indicates that there's strong energies towards you moving into a new relationship this month. That's a general reading for you. If you're interested in a more personalized reading, if you sign up for my newsletter list, which should be available to you in some form here, you will be able to find out how to get a totally free personalized mini reading from me for you. See you next month.